I'm going live. I'm live. Are you playing Halo or no? Are you playing Halo? Oh my gosh, it's going so fast. You're chewing so fast. So are you playing Halo or no? So you play Halo or no? Hey, living my life. Are you playing Halo or no?
No.
Living my life. 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 Every single day I've been living my life. Party in the beneath him, baby. I wanna party.
Kind, respectful and kind.
Stop! I wanna party. I wanna samba. I wanna party. I wanna samba. And fly.
Respectful time.
Samba, 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 samba. Bumba, bumba, bumba.
Okay.
Oh, wrong person.
Overall, you know, they're not horrible in putting up points. They just can't finish games. There's been multiple games.
They're inconsistent.
Yeah, so it's like it's tough to watch them because it's one of those teams where they'll be up and they'll be up by a large amount and then they get blown out.
I go back and look at the Dallas game we played against them. We had a backup rush, and it was prime time Sunday night football, and we just couldn't finish. I think they were 1-11 on third downs. So they have to come in to this game with the vengeance, saying, "Listen, the Packers are sitting pretty at 8-2. We have to come in and if we want to show them hard, which a lot of these teams who you think normally, oh, they're not going to get in the playoffs. There's that third wild card spot now. So if they want a shot at the wild card round, they have to win this game. It is a must win for them.
Right, and then so the other thing too with what you're kind of talking about with them getting into Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson, I think they need to just utilize the team as a whole because you look last week and dude, Tyler Conklin had 2 touchdowns. So Justin Kirk Cousins threw both of his touchdowns to a tight end that got the interception and 2 of them were touchdowns. So I don't know if it's. I mean, Justin Jefferson obviously had 140 yards. Dalvin Cook had a touchdown, so clearly they were involved in the game. But in those prime time important moments, Kirk Cousins didn't go to either of them. I mean, Dalvin Cook
What?
he utilized
All those needles in him?
team. And they made plays that made sense for the Vikings. And I think that's what they're going to have to do against the Packers. I don't think they win against the Packers, but what's your prediction here?
I've gotten 500 assists, man.
I think this game's going to be higher scoring than that, but I do think that the Packers.
I think just because it's in Minnesota, if it was at Lambeau Field, I think it's game over. But because it's in Minnesota, I'm going to give it a 27.
Okay. Well, I can see that happening. Like I said, maybe a little bit higher scoring, but overall, we're pretty accurate on your pick. My next one, which I'm super excited about this game, and I know that not a lot of people probably are because both teams suck. But the Lions at the Browns. This is a game I think where.
Can we just say one thing real fast? Me and Gary are not Baker Mayfield fans in any way, shape, or form.
No.
So let's just get that out of the way before we talk about the Browns.
I think Baker, I feel bad for Baker because he had these high expectations when he came in to the league, and he's not winning. So Baker statistically isn't the worst quarterback in the league. He's just not winning. And so I'm also becoming a Lions fan because you think about when the Browns sucked like 4 or 5 years ago, and then they won that game. They went like 0-30 or something. They lost like so many games in a row. And then they won the game off the field goal and everybody got excited.
Was that against the Chargers?
Yeah, they went against the Chargers. And they said, oh, you know, it's like we're winning our Super Bowl. And so, you I mean, to be in the NFL, you have to be elite. So it's not like the team sucks. Everybody likes to joke about the Lions still have elite players. They still have elite coaching. They're an NFL organization, and I think that they could come out this game and they could prove it. So I think America is kind of silently rooting for the Lions, just because nobody likes to see a loser lose that much. And I think that you have a chance here. So it's looking like Jared Goff is going to be out. He is doubtful, but he's not officially listed as out. So we're going to go ahead with this prediction as if he is out.
Lost the lead.
Initially, I had made my prediction before he was listed as doubtful. Right, Jared Goff's going to play. And one of the things I noticed too, so you look at any time a first-time starter comes in. So Tim Boyle has been in the league for a while now, but he's never started a game. So you look at any time a quarterback comes in for the first time starting. It's the same thing when they bring in a coach who's fired like an interim head coach. The team usually always puts up a fight or shocks the NFL community. Because what happens is these teams go in, there's no film on any of these players. So like there's no film on Tim Boyle as a starter. So what the Lions can do, and I think what Dan Campbell is going to do because he's a good coach, I think he's going to utilize Tim Boyle in a way that we haven't seen yet from the Lions this season. And I think that that's what's going to bring the bench, because if he goes out there and he just plays the same play style as Jared Goff and throws a pick and sucks, then obviously it's not going to be a win. It's just going to be the stereotypical Lions.
Don't understand
but I think if we had to choose any upset this week, I think it is going to be the Lions. I think with the Browns getting blown out by the Patriots last week, I think they are just... I don't think they have an identity right now. I don't think they really know where their head's at as a unit. I just think they're all over the place. I mean, they got demolished by the Patriots.
So, what's your final prediction for us, something?
I think we're looking at 17, Browns 14. And part of the reason for that, too, is because I think with the way that Ramondre Stevenson played last week against them, backup running back, and Mac Jones. I mean, you have Mac Jones and Ramondre Stevenson. Mac Jones is going to be a great quarterback, but he's still a rookie right now. So for them to absolutely ball out on the Lions, I think you're going to see DeAndre Swift have a big game because he's that same dual back where he can catch in the backfield and he can run through you. And I think you're going to see Tim Boyle. He may not put up a bunch of fantasy numbers, so I wouldn't start him in your lineup. But I think you're going to see the Lions in their first win of the season.
I agree with what you're saying. The only reason I'm gonna just change it. I'm gonna say Browns it's gonna be 17-14 Browns. Because I think the Browns organization, they're going to say, look, we just got to embarrass them. I don't think they're going to drop the strikes like back.
So you think the Browns are putting up 17 points?
I can say because Nick Chubb's back.
Targets are over there.
Right, it's not just Dearness Johnson.
But they had that guy last week who did really good, and they put up 7 points.
But get this though, on the first drive of that game, Dearness Johnson had 60 plus. I think it was like 65 yards, 66 on the first drive of the game. They did not use him the rest of the game. Why did they use him the rest of the game? Because they had to play comeback. You don't play comeback with a running back. When you're playing comeback in the NFL, you have to throw it to your playmakers. And when the ball is in Baker Mayfield's hand, bad things happen. I think if they start the game off using the run game, I think they have a chance. That's the only reason I think they score 17. But I say 17-14 Browns only because of how bad last week was. Teams like that tend to bounce back. But I would like to see the Lions win. Right, it would be pretty cool because they would lose their minds in the locker room afterwards. But I say 17-14 Browns, but anyways, it's not my pick and choose. So I'm going to go on to my next one if you're done with that pick.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, I've got Bengals at Raiders. I'm excited for this game because I like the Bengals. I like Joe Burrow. I like Jamar Chase. I like Joe Mixon. I like these people on the team, so I think they're definitely an up-and-coming team. They've shown the past 2 years. I know Joe Burrow got hurt, so really, you saw him. How many games did he play last year? 5, 6 maybe?
Yeah,
something like that.
Old.
Yeah, 5 or 6 games towards ACL, so I think Joe Burrow's coming back, and he's definitely playing good football. I know he's got a lot of picks, so the thing that he's got to work on is not pushing the ball too much. He likes to push the ball to Jamar Chase because they've got connection. Jamar Chase is a great wide receiver, but I think they can't they do, defenders start saying, listen, these are easy interceptions. Because I know Joe Burrow is trying to make a mistake, force it to him, so I'm just going to sit here and wait for the ball. I've got Bengals winning because the Raiders are now coming back down to earth. They were good the first 3-4 weeks of the season. Now they're really coming back down to where they got blown out last week by the Chiefs. The Chiefs are now starting to find their identity. Again, they got blown out by the Chiefs. They come in and play a Bengals team. And a Bengals team, they need a win. This is a must win for the Bengals right now. I think their entire AFC North is separated by just one game right now. So they know, if I want to win this division, which I think they have a shot at winning their division, but also a wild card spot, I think they really, this is a must win. I think they go into the Raiders. They go into Las Vegas. I think they score, man, I say 27-17. Actually, you know what?
So you're saying Bengals 27-17?
Yeah, Bengals 27-17. I think Bengals are going to come back because Bengals can put up a lot of points. We've seen it before. They can put up a lot of points. They've got the 14th overall offense, 17th overall defense. The Raiders, they've got the 8th overall offense right now, but we're starting to see that that's not really happening. They lose Henry Ruggs to the legal problems. They're not giving the ball to Darren Waller, and they're not feeding their star running back in Josh Jacobs. Derek Carr's making mistakes like old Derek Carr used to do. I saw there was a pick last week that he threw. I mean, he threw it up with 3 seconds left in the third quarter, like a Hail Mary, like it was at the end of the game. And there was 3 Kansas City defenders right there. I just look at mistakes like that, and I'm like, why in the world would you do something? Yeah, what would you do? It's not even like you threw the ball far enough to where maybe the pick was going to be instead of the punt. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could throw the ball to the 1 yard line, they intercept it, whatever. I mean, it was a bad play. I know we had pressure in his face, but mistakes like that you just can't do. And I think Derek Carr, being the veteran he is, I think Joe Burrow is going to outplay him. I think they're really going to feed Joe Mixon. I think it's your bigger game. I think those Bengals are going to win, though.
So I can agree with you that I think the Bengals are going to win, but you keep saying how Joe Burrow's playing this great football, but he leads the league in picks.
I know, I said that. But you can lead the league in picks and still play good football. I mean, that's that. You know, and I think the reason he leads the league in picks is because he's forcing it to Jamar Chase too many times. And I'm wondering how many of those picks are off of a receiver's hand.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know off the top of my head, so I'm not going to act like I do. But all I know statistically is that he is leading the league in picks. Yeah. So that's something we're going to have to watch for this game. I think if the Bengals lose, it is going to be because of turnovers. And I think if the Bengals win, I think Joe Mixon and Jamar Chase are going to have to equally ball out. So you see, in the beginning of the season, Jamar Chase was insane. People couldn't stop him. He was on fire. But now he's had a couple games where it's down to earth a little bit, where he's just kind of relaxed a little bit. And then Joe Mixon has had a couple games recently where he's been doing really good. So I think if you can utilize both of those receivers, or both the receiver and the running back, I think you're going to see a dominant performance by the Bengals. But I think that this one is really up in the air. I think that the Raiders could come out. So the other thing too, the Raiders, like I said earlier about like interim coaches and interim quarterbacks. The first 2 games under their coaching staff, they played the Broncos and they won 34-24, and they played the Eagles and won 33-22. Since then, they have lost to the Giants 23-16 and the Chiefs 41-14. So people are starting to understand the new coaching scheme.
But again, they're coming back down to earth. They're not that same.
Yeah, well, no, I don't even know if they were necessarily on this crazy run. They were 3-2 before Gruden left, and now they're 5-4. So it's like they're going in these waves, but I think that the first 2 wins could have been a fluke because it's a new coach, so of course they're going to do good in their first couple games, and now it's coming down to earth. So I think this is a must-win for the Raiders, but I don't see them winning. So that's where it's going to be pretty interesting because both of these divisions are really, really close right now.
The tight races right now, which everybody didn't see that the Raiders division was going to be a tight race, but it's definitely a tight race. Yeah, until Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs start running away with it. Yeah, that's one thing I thought Bengals over Raiders.
So we're going to go into another game that is meaningless as far as playoff purposes. But we're going to look at the Dolphins at the Jets. So I think that this is going to be kind of a fun game to watch because Joe Flacco is getting the start for the Jets. So I think season with.
And honestly, I don't think any. I mean, they had St. Arnold, so they haven't had a veteran quarterback presence like they're about to get.
Yeah, so they're gonna have the veteran presence on the field versus on the sideline. And I think that's gonna be big for them. It's a young team, and I think that they're gonna be able to really go do well with Joe Flacco. Unfortunately, I do think the Dolphins are gonna do better than the Jets. They just give up huge win losses.
And so that momentum keeps riding in against our divisional opponent.
Yeah, because I can't see. I'd love to see Joe Flacco come in and go off. But I can't see the Dolphins defense allowing that. With what the Dolphins defense did to Lamar Jackson, I mean, you think of Joe Flacco, there's no run through. So if the Dolphins defense can stop the run of Lamar Jackson and the throw of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah. Well, I think they can stop the arm count because Joe Flacco does have a big arm.
Right. So that's where, like, to me, I'm like, all right, well, I don't see Lamar Jackson can't get around it. Why can Joe Flacco? I do think that Joe Flacco may come out with some different schemes that the Dolphins are in the team before, and that could be something that the new offensive coordinator Jets is kind of going for. But I'm interested to see what kind of big plays we got this game because I think we're gonna have some big plays to it, like Elijah. I think James Crowder could get involved a little bit.
I think they have to involve him. That is your playmaker right now. They have to get him involved in the passing game.
Well, they also have a guy in Corey Davis that
They got Corey Davis on the time.
Yeah, they have Corey Davis, Jamison Crowder, and Elijah Moore, who's a rookie, but he's been balling out the past couple weeks. So gone is the excuse of, oh, well, they don't give their quarterbacks weapons. We saw what Mike White was able to do with that running back, Michael Carter, and then they have Corey Davis, who I think was a sophomore last year, and they have Jamison Crowder, who's always been reliable on the Jets, and then they have Elijah Moore, who I think is going to be a good young talent for the team. So
and I think Joe Flacco can definitely get the ball to them. And he's a veteran quarterback. He's been around long enough to know. I got to get the ball to them before we're going to have success.
Right, and I think that one of the receivers is going to be an X-Factor. I don't know which one because they utilize him in so many different ways all the time, but I would say probably Elijah Moore. If Elijah Moore goes off, then, because he had 2 touchdowns a couple weeks ago, and I think they still lost, but if he's able to really kind of take that and run with it, I think you're going to see opportunities open up for Jamison Crowder. I think you're going to see Michael Carter step up. Hopefully they can get Corey Davis going. Denzel Mims is going to be out this week, so they're down a receiver, but they have Braxton Berrios. They have...
underrated receiver.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a Cole Beasley, like a just a little
Cole Beasley, 100 rim throws, someone like that.
So that's where I'm kind of trying to see how it's going to come out. I do think the Dolphins win. I do think the Dolphins come out 24-17. But I do think there's going to be some scoring in the game. And the other thing, too, is if the Miami defense doesn't come out the way they the Ravens, I think you could see a blowout there from the Jets. Yeah, not even just an upset, but I think if the Miami defense doesn't come out the same way they did against the Ravens, then I think you could see a blowout from the Jets. But I'm not going to make that prediction because I don't want to look like a fool on Tuesday.
Because he's going to look like the whole circus.
So I'm not trying to look like a clown. So I go Dolphins 24-17.
Okay. I'm excited for this game just because I like watching these divisional opponents play in the NFC West. The Cardinals and Seahawks. If you think about this game, just like in past years, or even if you, without looking at statistics, think Cardinals, Seahawks, you think both good teams. They're not. The Seahawks are not a good football team right now.
Russell Wilson is horrible right now.
They're 29th overall in offense, and they're 31st in defense. And they lost everything. I blame a lot of the Seahawks struggles. I just blame it on a culture and the organization of Seattle right now, because they knew that Russell Wilson, there was talks of him getting traded last year. So the organization and Pete Carroll did not go out and, they didn't make it enticing for him to stay. They already had DK Metcalf, so they didn't bring him in. They didn't bring in anybody on the defense to make it enticing for Russell Wilson to want to stay at Seattle.
Nearing
Russell Wilson,
victory.
who can be an MVP type quarterback, who can play at high caliber, why does he want to stay in Seattle? They're playing terrible football right now. They have a bottom 3 offense and defense. Their division is very stacked right now. I think you can see Russell Wilson leaving after this year. I think Cardinals are going to run away with this one. Even if Colt McCoy plays, I think they're still going to run away with it. Feed the ball to James Conner. If Kyler Murray doesn't play, which he says he will, sure if he's alive, it'll probably be a game time decision. But is out again, so those of you who want to start him a fantasy, take that man out right now because he is not playing. I've got him on fantasy.
5
He's not
minutes
played the past
remain.
3 weeks, so you might as well just drop him right now because he's never going to play again probably. But I think even if Kyler Murray doesn't play, I think it's still going to be a blowout win by the Cardinals. Seahawks just can't compete. I would say, this is a tough one to predict. I see Seattle scoring 10 points. It's in Seattle, so they've got some momentum swing there, but I see Seattle scoring 10 points. I know they've got some good playmakers, but Chris Carson's out. That's a huge hit to their offense because Russell Wilson can't run the ball like he used to. He's still dealing with that recovering finger injury. So I think with Chris Carson being out, I think with your weapons, you just got the DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. I can see you scoring 10 points, and I'm going to go with 27 points for the Cardinals. The Cardinals are hitting on all cylinders right now. I know they're out D-Hop, but and again, I think they had a bad loss to the Panthers last week. Normally good teams, again, we'll get to my last pick, but normally good teams like the Bucs, good teams like the Packers, like the Cardinals, they're not going to let this, slump really stay for long. I think they're going to come in, they're going to handle business against a divisional opponent, they're going to leave with the win. So I've got Cardinals over Seahawks.
Right. And I can agree with that. I think that the Cardinals will win over the Seahawks. I do think that we may see a Seattle receiver go off. I don't know if it's Tyler Lockett or DK Metcalf.
Because they flip back and forth each week.
Right. So, it's so frustrating to pick them on fantasy because one week, one of them will have 3 points, the other one has 30, and then the next week it's flipped. But I do think that we could finally see a DK Metcalf show. But I don't think that it would be enough for them to win.
Okay.
So I think DK Metcalf gets over 100 yards this game, but I don't see anything.
Without the run game, I just don't see them doing anything.
Right, I don't see them winning, but I do see DK Metcalf being a good viable option this week.
Okay. So I still got Cardinals over Seattle. So why don't you give us your next pick?
So we're gonna go into Saints at Eagles now. And this is obviously, as a Bucs fan, this is a pick for me that I like to make because I think the Eagles are gonna win.
They don't. I can't stand them, but I gotta agree with you.
This is a must-win for the Saints, but Alvin Kamara's out. James Winston's obviously done for the season, so they don't really have that fire on the offense this game. We know about their receiving struggles. We know they don't have the wide receivers that they need to have. So the only thing that's going to give the Saints a chance is their defensive culture and Sean Payton. So other than that, I think it's going to be a close game because of Sean Payton and because of their defense. If their defense balls out, I think they can stop Jalen Hurts. But right now, Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith have a connection. They had 2 touchdowns last week, and they're really starting to finally get going. And so
question real fast.
Yeah.
I heard that you said you think this is a must game for the Saints. You think this is a must win for the Eagles to stay alive in that wild card play?
Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's a must win. I think it makes
Because they're not winning the division. I think, but again, with those 3 wild card spots, there's a
What is happening?
Continue the momentum and have a good win. I think it's going to be a really good game.
Ain't a target on the
But
back,
I got
Spartan.
Eagles 20, Saints
Flag
17.
returned.
I don't think you're wrong, but I gotta respect that. The Eagles are getting hot at the right moment. Again, we've talked about multiple times. The Saints are up and down in every single game. Again, they go out and beat the
Enemy
Bucs, but then they
flag
come back
returned.
and they lose to the Titans. You know, it's just they lose to the Titans who don't have Derrick Henry right now. So most people are like, oh, well, they just beat the Bucs. They should go in and beat the Titans. The Saints right now, they're too inconsistent.
Yeah.
Just as inconsistent as can't see Boogaloo Jameis Winston was against when he was with the Bucs. 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. But I just think the Saints could pull it off. Like you said, it's going to be a close one. I still do think it's going to be
Well, I think
Not good.
Sean Payton's
their defense.
coaching. Well, Sean Payton's coaching overall.
Yeah.
I mean, Sean Payton's an elite coach, so I think
Overshield
that
available.
he has a chance to keep him in the game. But I don't think it works. So
Is it at Philadelphia or at New Orleans?
it is at Philly.
Okay, so that's a big factor as well. If it's at the Superdome, it's
Flag
really hard to play in the
return.
Superdome, as Bucs fans know.
Flag
It's not easy to play there. So, but since it's in Philly, I definitely can see the Eagles coming off with the win.
Yeah.
So I've got my next pick is similar to the Chargers. I think I'm just gonna say my pick is the Chargers. I think the Chargers come off because the Chargers are not a bad football team. They've got the 10th overall offense, 17th overall defense. They've got too many weapons on that offense for them to be struggling like they're struggling. You know, they had a bad loss against the Patriots. The Patriots are starting to get hot. They had a bad loss against the Patriots. They've lost games that they should not have
Double
lost.
kill.
They've got, you know, Austin
M41
Eckler,
Spanker
Keenan
available.
Allen, Mike Williams. They've got Jared Cook, and then Justin Herbert, who was a phenomenal, you know, second-year quarterback. I think they've really got this thing. It's at the Chargers, so it's in SoFi.
Get
The
home,
Chargers don't
Spartan.
really have a great fan base, so wherever they're playing, it's not really a factor, you know, fan base wise. But I think they come home. I think they get a win against a struggling Steelers defense. Even if Mason Rudolph plays, I think it's like a up in the air last minute game time decision that Ben Roethlisberger might play. I don't think it matters.
He's
who plays.
out. He's official.
Oh, he's out. Okay, so
They know where we are.
I think Mason Rudolph goes in. He does what he did last week. You know, he looks good on the first drive, and that
You're close, Spartan.
control the ball.
Well, the other thing is, so, like we talked about last week, so I think that he bounces back this week. On top of that, the Steelers defense is without T.J. Watt, Joe Hayden, and Minka Fitzpatrick. So
I think even if I had those in there, because right now the Steelers are
Yeah, took their flag.
The Steelers have their overall defense, but without those three players, they don't.
right.
I say they are, you know, bottom of the league in the division, or bottom of the league when it comes to defensive rankings, when they don't have those three players. Those are their three playmakers on the team. You know, Minka Fitzpatrick can get interception. T.J. Watt can get the quarterback any way he wants. With those players out, I think the Steelers don't have a chance. You know, coming off a bad tie to the Lions, I think Chargers come in, they handle business. I don't see the Steelers scoring. I think I'll give them 10 points. I'll give them 10 points, and I got the Chargers really playing good football. The Chargers might be able to score 30 plus points. The Chargers are a team that can score 30 plus points. With all those playmakers, I think they can score 30 plus.
I think if Justin Herbert puts up over 300 yards this game, I think you see more than 30.
Which he can.
Yeah.
Which he can do. He's got to get on.
Austin Eckler's got to step up too. He's been kind of good the past couple games.
So I've got Chargers over Steelers, 30 plus to 10.
Right.
Team took the enemy flag.
Well, I think they might put up more than 10 points, but I think
Off the rack.
Pretty awful way to go.
Flag
I think
returned.
That right there is why I
Steelers
picked
did
you.
put up more than 10 points, but like you said,
Enemy flag returned.
Next
Out
one
of
is
your
going to
mind.
be
They know where we
49ers
are.
at the Jaguars. So this is because obviously I think the 49ers are going to win. I'd be a clown.
Enemy flag returned.
But the
Let's
49ers
take Tebow
have
Suits up. like to play tight end.
The 49ers are going to have to put
All
up
right,
points
he's
to win.
available.
Because we see what the Bills did, or what the Jaguars did to the Bills when they didn't put up points. So clearly they're going to have to put up points to win, and they're going to have to utilize their playmakers. So they're going to have to utilize George Kittle, utilize Deebo Samuel, and really take advantage. They can't fall behind in any aspect because they need to be able to utilize the run game as well. But the thing that I want to see from this game, and this is kind of premature prediction, I want to see if Trevor Lawrence shows any aspect that he's ready for the NFL. Because I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen he's had a few dots here and there and some good touchdowns and that kind of stuff. But overall, I have not seen
Team took the enemy
a
flag.
first pick from this guy yet. And everybody likes to say, oh, Peyton Manning came in his first year. Look how great his career was. Well, that's great, but Trevor Lawrence isn't Peyton Manning. So, I don't
5
really
minutes
care
remaining.
what Peyton Manning did. I want to see what Trevor Lawrence can do. And right now, I haven't seen anything from him. I also think that you look at the team that Peyton Manning was put on compared to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it's two entirely different cultures, two entirely different teams. So I need to see if Trevor Lawrence is ready to leave the Jaguars. I don't think it happens this week, but I think that's what
Play. Check.
I think too, everybody thought going into the season, it's the match made in heaven. He knows how to, he had a great college career. He knows how to come in and he knows how to get Trevor Lawrence, on the right track when it comes to the NFL. I think it was just too good to be true.
the other thing is I think he created too many distractions for his team. He's not a good coach.
Overshield
They
inbound.
don't respect him. I don't think anybody on that team right now respects him. There are players on the Lions who are playing
Yeah, they took their
0-8-1
flag.
than a team in the Jags who are playing with
Overshield
a great
available.
coach. He should be a great coach. And with a number 1 first round pick in Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, and let's not discredit Urban Meyer's college accomplishments. The guy's
Oh yeah, not at all.
So, but that doesn't equate to anything in the NFL. So that's for me. I need to see if Trevor Lawrence is ready to be an NFL quarterback. And I think, like I said, it's premature because these guys are first round picks.
Enemy
They're gonna give them a
flag
couple years to
returned.
just fall apart anyway. Unless you're, I think Dwayne Haskins was a first round pick.
Flag returned.
Okay, Steelers back up.
Okay.
Back to Mason Rudolph.
But he was gone within the first year. That was more
They
because
take it off flag. The enemy carrier has revealed themselves.
But I think Trevor Lawrence, he needs to get it together. He's got 8 touchdowns, but
Spanker inbound.
there's nothing to write home about. He needs to utilize Marvin Jones. Marvin Jones did big things for Matt Stafford when he was with the Lions. And clearly the Lions didn't win either,
M41
but
Spanker
it
available.
doesn't matter. They need to utilize him.
He's got good receivers. He's got the guy with the last name Chanel. He's got good receivers. Yeah, he's got good receivers on the outside. He's got
They know where we
a
are.
good running back when it comes to James Robinson. Is he playing this week?
He's question. So,
Okay.
we're gonna
Got a decent team.
right. We're gonna employ Anderson. He is not playing. And if he is, I still don't think it changes anything because clearly it did last week. Trevor Lawrence fumbled when they had a chance to win the game. So I'm taking 49ers 27, Jaguars.
Enemy flag returned.
Freaking work for what?
The enemy carrier has revealed themselves.
They dismantled the Rams in every way, shape, or form.
Right.
Here's my, key to success for the 49ers. I don't think they really need a key to success playing against the Jags.
Overshield
But
available.
here's how I say this is how they easily win this game. Get the ball to Deebo Samuel and get the ball to George Kittle. Something they did on Monday Night Football.
Enemy flag
They
carrier.
didn't play right. You got Jalen Ramsey playing on the other side of the ball for the Rams. Clearly, Jalen Ramsey, in a perfect world, is going to match up with their best receiver. What they did was they moved Deebo Samuel around the formation. They put the running back. They put him on these different positions on the field to where Jalen Ramsey couldn't
You're exposed,
cover.
Spartan.
Jalen Ramsey on a couple plays he didn't have a fullback. So I think you look at that and say, Kyle Shanahan is coaching.
Play.
He's coaching a good game right now. You go in, you
Victory.
beat the divisional opponent in the Rams after you've been struggling. You didn't just beat them, you dismantled them. And I think he can go in. I think Kyle Shanahan goes in, provides that success for the Rams, and he just plays 49ers football. Get the ball to Deebo Samuel. Get the ball to George Kittle. I think that's the key.
to play good football, but if he could just utilize his people the same way he did last week, he's not going to have to do anything crazy. He just needs to play good football and minimize the turnovers.
So, this is my last pick. I'm going Giants over Bucks.
Are you serious?
I'm just kidding.
What?
I was just waiting. I'm just kidding. I'm just waiting.
I thought I was looking around for the camera crew to see if I was going to plunk.
You've been.
I thought I was being punked.
Monday Night Football. I think Bucks come back in a big way. Bucks get their not really revenge, but